Thank you so much for joining me here at the live desk. I am Janae Hancock, and welcome to a new year. Also, welcome to our weekly segment, News You Can Use. You just saw that graphic here on your screen. And with that being said, I do want to turn things over to Josh Planos with Better Business Bureau. Josh, again, thank you so much for joining me here at the live desk and kicking off the new year for us. How's it going?
Pretty well. No complaints yet, Janae, so happy to be here.
Yes, no complaints. That is always good news as we kick off this new year. Now, speaking of the new year, 2024, it also comes with new scams. Tell us a little bit more about what people should be looking out for today. This year, I should say.
Yeah, a lot of what we see revolves around typical New Year's resolutions. So consumers are, of course, looking to better budget at the start of a year. They're looking to, get in the best shape of their life. So you see a lot of, fitness-related scams involving, gym equipment that may or may not exist, gym subscriptions that may or may not exist, free gym memberships that, of course, are not ultimately free. There's a lot hidden in that fine print. So we see a lot this time of year, but typically because this is the opportunity for a lot of folks to, do a self-inventory. There are a lot of different avenues for scammers to target, but a lot of them involve finances, of course.
And you mentioned fitness related scams. I know that's a lot of New Year's resolutions. People want to get back into the gym or they want to start being active once again. But I think this kind of goes back to social media scams and people just kind of scrolling on their timelines and they see things that seem cheap, they seem interesting, and they just happen to be scams. So a lot of it goes back to social media. Is that correct?
Without a doubt. I mean, it's the quickest way to target the largest pool of people. And typically, what scammers are looking for are folks that are self-isolating. So these are not traditionally folks who are interested in going to a gym, but rather having the gym come to them. And for a lot of folks around COVID, having a home gym was a realistic investment. However, nowadays you do see a lot of opportunities. Unfortunately, when you can't actually see the equipment in person before you purchase it, to get targeted with, a fantastic opportunity to, change your life in a healthy and true way. But unfortunately, the product ultimately never comes. So you want to make sure, right, you're doing your due diligence on that site in question. Even if it shows up on your social media timeline, it is not a guarantee that it is a verified company or a legitimate business. So you want to make sure you're doing your research before you provide any personal or payment information, regardless of how good that opportunity sounds.
And this is also pretty interesting because I know we just started these weekly segments right ahead of the holiday season, but this is something that kind of goes into the next year in 2024 and something to look out for throughout the year. What other advice do you have for our viewers? Where can they check out to see if a website is legit or not?
Yeah, so that's why the Better Business Bureau exists. Would hope you go to bbb.org to at least look up that company and see what that company's reputation is. You want to make sure that they have a physical address because even if they use warehouses and a logistics plan, you want to make sure that there's at least a company headquarters that you can file a complaint to. If you don't have a physical location, it's very difficult to get a hold of that person or that company. You want to make sure that they have that contact information listed as well. But even just doing a simple search in your preferred browser is a very important step to take that unfortunately a lot of consumers don't because they're so enticed by that opportunity to get an entire home gym for $99.99. It's just unrealistic to have all of that equipment at such an affordable price. So again, doing a little bit of research too into what if you're looking for a leg press, for instance, what the standard rate is for that piece of equipment will go a long way in determining whether or not that offer is legitimate or a fraudulent one.
And speaking of going a long way, Josh, I know when we talked about the gift card scams right before Christmas, we talked about people making sure they report these scams to not only help themselves, but also to help other people who might have to deal with the same situation. And that goes for this as well.
Yeah, if a scam has targeted you, chances are it's targeting someone else. And on a human level, I'd like to think that in 2024, we can all get behind the idea that we should help others when possible. We don't want anyone to have to go through the same experience we're going through. You don't need to have lost money for your story to matter. So please bring that information forward. If you go to bbb.org/scam tracker, you can report it there. You can be kept anonymous. So that information can be freely provided to those who can actually do something with it. But the chances are, if you're seeing something, someone else is as well. And I'd like to think we could do a better job of looking out for one another.
I love it. Alrighty, Josh, before I let you go, is there anything else that you would like to add on to this interview for our viewers to know?
We have a lot of helpful information on our site for, we call them resolutions for a fraud-free new year. A lot of it involves, being cautious with the information that you're providing to strangers, not clicking on links, not, responding to unsolicited communication if that person is asking you for money. But I'd encourage you to look through that because sadly, we do see a lot of scam reports in January, just as we do in December. And it's very important to, start your year off as strongly as possible. And one of the ways we can do that is by, having that educational piece front and center. So if you're interested, bbb.org, a lot of helpful information there.
Starting the year off right, and that includes with your finances. As always, Josh, thank you so much for joining me here at the live desk, and thank you for joining me on this holiday. It is New Year's Day, and with that being said, I'm going to leave you all with this graphic as we look ahead to our noon newscast. Thanks again, Josh.
Thank you.